Hey there everyone, it's Ravindra here back with another video. In this video we are going to create a real-time chat application with the help of SignalR, HTML, CSS and vanilla JavaScript. If you find this video helpful, please hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed this channel, you can also subscribe it. So let's move ahead. So let me give you a quick demonstration of this application. So here it is our chat application, and when I enter in this application, it asks me my name. So let's enter any name here, and let's say here it is John. Okay, so let's go here and create another instance of this application, and here we will say that it's Bob. Okay, so when Bob has joined the chat, this one has get notified. Okay, so let me create another instance here, localhost 500, and here let's say it's a Chris. So let's click here, and you can see that these two applications had get immediately notified that Chris has joined. So let's say that hey, and press send button. So both application has get that John says hey. So let's say here hi guys. Okay, so now Chris says hi guys, and these two application has get that notification. So what if Chris left the chat? So when Chris left the chat, these two applications get notified that Chris has left the chat. So let's close this thing, and it will also get that Bob left the chat. So it is the demonstration of application that we are going to create, and I haven't used any JavaScript framework for that. I have only designed it with help of HTML, plain CSS and plain vanilla JavaScript. And for the server I have used ASP.NET Core SignalR. Okay, so that was a quick demonstration. Let's move further. Typically, we use a request response architecture. For example, if you type a google.com in your browser, you will get a document from a server as a response. But it's not the ideal case always. Let's take an example of live game score application. Here we constantly get a live score without making any request to server. In this scenario, server is pushing notification and all the clients are getting notified simultaneously. Same goes with chatroom application. When a new user joins the chatroom, all other users of that group will immediately notified by the server. To make these kinds of application, we need SignalR. In short, we can say that SignalR can be used to create real-time application. SignalR can also solve some other problems, like if you want to create an application which sends push notifications to all the users, or maybe you want to create an application for location tracking. So you can create these kind of application with the help of SignalR. So let's move ahead. So let's create a new project here. So click on create new project, and here we are going to select this ASP.NET Core web app, and it is a template for Razor Pages application. Click on next, and here I'm gonna change the directory. So I'm going to create project on this directory, and let's create a web chat server. Okay, so it will be a good name, and click on next. Here we will select a template. I'm going to select this latest one, .NET 7.0. You can select 6.0 also. So click on create button, and it will create a project for us. Okay, so our project has created, and we can close this tab. Okay, so right now what we are going to do, we are going to create a folder here, and let's name that folder hubs. Okay, so hubs, and here we will create a new class and name it chat hub. Okay, and here we're going to inherit it from this class, which is hub, and press control dot, and here we are going to see this refactor using microsoft.asp.net core.signalar, and here it has added this line. So this hub is responsible for communication between client and server. So suppose a client have to send a message to server, it will use this class, this chat hub, and if server notify any client, it will also use this chat hub. So it is the core of our SignalR application. Everything goes on with our client and server will happen here. So here we will define few methods. So let's name it public async task. Okay, and we're gonna create this message, send message, and here we will have a string user and a string message. And after that, here we will write something like, here we will write await, because it is async class, async method, so we have to write here await. And here we will write clients, very good, dot all dot send async user message. So what this method will do, I'm gonna comment here, this method will send notification to all the clients. And here we have to write here one more thing, so it will be a receive, or we can name it properly like receive message. Let me see if my recording is on. Yeah, it is on. So receive message. So let me break it. So if client have to communicate, it will call send message method. Okay, and if client have to receive notification from server, it will use receive message method. Okay, let me put it in angular brackets and here also. So I think things are clear now. So if client want to send a message, or if a client want to use this SignalR chat hub and client want to send a message, so it will use this send message method. And then what will happen here, when client will call this send message method, this SignalR hub will notify to all the clients. So it will trigger this receive message and it will notify all the clients with the help of this receive message. If any clients want to receive those notification, that client have to use this receive message method in the client side. So that is, but here one thing to be noticed, this notification will be received by all the clients. Okay, so what if we have a scenario where sender don't want to get notified? So in that case we will have a different method. So it will be send, let's just name it like join chat. Okay, so when a person join a chat, all other clients will be notified except a person who have joined it. So we have to change it to others. So everyone will be notified except who have joined the chat. Okay, so both will use this method because it will be a common method for receiving messages for the client. So I hope it is not confusing right now. So there is not anything in the Signaler right now. We have created these two methods and we will use these two methods only. Now we have to configure our Signaler. So for that I have to do some configuration that I don't remember. So I'm just gonna go here and I'm gonna type here javascript signal r client, and I will click on this Microsoft doc, and here we can see that all of these configuration, but we are not going to worry about that. So what we have to do here, we have to add this line here, builder.services.add signal. So let's go here and paste this line here. Now we have to do one more thing here. We have to use this map hub. Okay, so that means we have to map our signal hub with some URL. So here we're gonna paste this thing. Let me see, we have to paste this thing here, and it is our class chat hub that we have created. This one chat hub, or this one chat hub. So it is the name of our class. Now it is a URL by which our clients are going to communicate. So you can change it if you want, but I'm not going to change it. I feel fine with this, so it will be chat hub. So let's go here. Now we need to configure CORS policy here so that JavaScript application hosted on different origin can also access it. So if you don't know about CORS, so go to the internet and read about what is CORS and why do we need this CORS enable in our application. So we will paste this line here. Okay, builder.services.add CORS, and this, and one more thing, we have to write this here. So we will write it here. It has clearly said here use CORS must be called before map hub, so we have used it here. Now we have configured our middlewares, and here we need to do little more configuration. Like here we have to configure the URL of our client application, and my client application will be localhost 5500. So it will be clear in the future. So right now I'm going to write here this URL, and if it will be changed, I will change it immediately, so don't worry about that. When I was making prototype of this application, I was frustrated with CORS error, and I have done everything that was written on docs, but I was still getting error. So I did some research on Stack Overflow, and after struggling with countless hours, I have found this solution, and then I have to add this line, and I don't know clearly what it means, but it solved my problem. So if you also get the errors in the future, you have to add this line, but I think you should add it right now so that we can avoid the errors in the future. Okay, so now we have configured our CORS, we have configured our signaler, everything is fine. So let's see what we did here. First we have added this line, so this line is added. And here we are configuring our signal R, and we are configuring this service here. Now we have added one more line, so we can write here this line is added. We have configured our course here, and this line is also added to configure course. And here we are mapping our signal R hub. So here we are creating a URL, kind of URL. Okay, now we have done with our signal application. So now we will move to the client part, and we will run this application in future, not right now. Now we are going to create a client application here. So go here and create a new folder, and let's name it web chat client. That will be a fair name. Now open this folder and go here and open with code. Now this folder will open in Visual Studio Code. So now what we will do here, first of all we will create an index file here. So create a new file, index.html, and we will create one more file here, style.css. Here we will define our style sheets. Okay, now move to the index.html. So we will use the power of emmet here. So press this sign and press enter. Now it will create a whole document for us. Now we will change the name here and name it web chat. That's good. Let's put a symbol here. So we're going to put this symbol here. Okay, now here we're going to need a div. Let's name it container. But one more thing that I have forgot, I have to link a CSS here. So link style.css. That's good. Now we will create a container. Inside that we will define our whole application. Now we need one more div here, actually not one, 3 div. So just type here div dot, let's name it header. Okay, so here we will define our header, and anyway let's copy this thing here. Good. Now we need one more div here, div dot, let's name it something like this, message section, and here we will define our messages. So it will be message section, and we will need one more div. Here we will define our input box or text box for chatting. So input section. Now we have defined these 3 divs and this container, so we will create some CSS for that. But before that we will create this CSS, margin 0, padding 0, and box sizing border box. Okay, now let's define that container CSS here. So we will give it a width of 100% and height of 100 VH. That's good. Now let's see what we can do here. So first of all I want to say you that we need an extension here, and let me find that extension. That is called live server. So let's search it, live. Okay, so this one, live server. So you need to install this live server so that we can run our HTML pages as a server application. So when we click on this live server, let me show you one more time. From here from here we can start our live server. Here, go live, click. Okay, so when we click on this, our application will start. Now we are not seeing anything here because we need to define a background will be just say green, yellow, and here we can see that we have defined that width 100% and 100 VH. Right now here, what we will do, let's go here and just type here CSS gradient, and we can create a gradient background from here. So right now we have these two select boxes or whatever it is. We can select our colors from here. So I'm selecting primary color, so left side color is this and right side color is this, and after that we can change this thing like this. Okay, so we can adjust color from here. So I guess it would be okay. So when we have selected this thing, you can change it to linear, from linear to radial, and I'm gonna select this linear one. Okay, so from here we can copy this thing, copy to clipboard. Now go here and let's paste it here. Okay, so now our background is like this. Okay, so I'm liking it so far. Let's close this gradient, and thanks to this tool. Okay, now let's define some CSS for header here. Let's just background, let's say beige. Okay, so let's define here font size will be 26 px. Okay, so we can adjust it later, but here I want to do one more thing, that I need a Google font here. So I'm gonna go here, Google font, and when we go here in the Google font section, we can search anything from here. So let's just say I need Poppins. Okay, so here we have this font Poppins, and I'm gonna get the regular one. So here I'm gonna get this one. Okay, so we can check it here, view selected families, and I have selected here, you can see regular 400 Poppins, and we have two options here, either we can link it or we can import it. So I'm gonna import it. So I'm gonna import it here. That's nice. Now we need to do one more thing here. We have to copy this CSS rule, font family Poppins. Okay, that's good, and we're gonna put it here. So let's see, now we have this good font. Okay, so we can do one more thing here. We can try text align center, everything go into center, and we can set some padding like 10 px, top and bottom, 0 px from left and right. Okay, so we are good right now. So I'm gonna increase the size of font a little bit to 28, and I'm increasing the padding also. So we can go here and it looks just fine. Okay, now Now we can write some properties for message section. So we can write here height 400 px, width 90%, and we will set margin to auto so that everything will be displayed on the center. Okay, so here border pixel 1 pixel solid. That's good. So let's save this guy and check it in browser. It looks great. Okay, so we can add one more property here. We can add border radius, and it looks just fine. So now we can remove this, where it is, this background. We do not need it. Okay, so here it is looking a little bit better. Okay, so let's define here input section. So we will define some border for it. Okay, so we can check it here, looking good. We'll provide some height to it. Okay, now we'll provide width to it. That is fine. And now we need to put it in center, so we have to write the thing like this, margin auto. Okay, so here it will put it in center. Now we will create some margin from the top. Very good. Now we will define some border radius so that we can get some rounded corners. Okay, so here in this section we will define a text box in future, not right now. Okay, so we are good so far. Okay, now in this message section we need two divs. So okay, let me write like this, message msg box, message box, and it will be a received. Okay, so it will be a box for a receiver, and it will be a box for sender. Okay, so let me comment here. So this div display on right side, comment it, and we can put the comment here, left side. Okay, so hi, and we'll write here hello. Let's see how it is looking. It is looking like this. So let's define some css for these things. So let's define here msg box, msg box. Okay, and here we will define thing for received. That's good. And here we will define things for send. Okay, so let's define some css for message box. Okay, so let's define this thing here, and padding will be 10 px from all the sides, width will be 35%, border will be 1%, sorry, 1 pixel solid black, font size will be 20 pixel, margin 20 pixel from the top and bottom, 15 pixel from left and right. Okay, so let's see how it is looking. So it is looking nice. And here we will define a border radius. Now we have nice rounded corners. Okay, so now let's see how we can define this one right and this one in left. So for that, what we can do, we can write it like this, float received will be displayed on right. Okay, and send will be displayed on left. Sorry, not left. Send will be displayed on right. Send are my messages, and received, those messages I will receive. So received messages will be displayed on left side, and the message I am sending will be displayed on the right side. Okay, fair enough. So here we are not seeing anything because we need to clear these divs also. So let me see if I write here clear both, so let's see what is happening. Okay, so it is much better, but here float is not working right now, so no luck so far. So let's go here and let's see. Okay, it is center, so let's remove it because we have defined send here. So let's check it here and we are good. Now let's define some color on these cards. So let's define here, we have defined this border color, background color here, and this background color here. So let's see here. Okay, so it's good so far. Now we can do one more thing here. We can check one thing here. So if I type here hello this, so let's see how it is looking. Okay, it is looking fine, but if I look this thing and I put one in last, so here we can see that this thing is going outside. Okay, so one hack we can do here is we can break our word, so we can type here word break and break all. So break all will break this word. Okay, so it is looking much better. One last thing we can do here, we can write here box shadow and we can put some shadow 5 pixel, and we can define some color for it. So let's just say this color. Okay, so it is not looking that much good, so let's make it a little bit more darker and let's see how it is looking. Okay, so it is looking better. Now our cars are looking 3D kind of look. It is giving 3D kind of look. So everything is fine, but it will break. So what if I write this thing one more time, hello dd, something like this, and it is good, but let's put one more div here and let's name it hey. Now you will see that this thing is going outside the div. So now what we can do here is we can do this thing. We can put our overflow here, so we can write here overflow auto. Now let's see. Okay, so no luck, and it's not happening because I have put it in wrong place. So it should be here in the message section, and we can see that now we have this ugly looking scroll bar. Okay, so we will define some css for that also, but right now what I am doing, I am putting this input section at the end here. Okay, so I can write here css input section, that's it. Okay, so here we have our header section, here is container section, now we have this header section, then message section and content related to message box. That's good. Now let's define some css for this ugly looking scroll bar. Let's make it good. So let's define some css here, and right now let's define this thing. It is a pseudo class pseudo selector for scroll bar webkit scroll bar, and we have defined its width to 10 pixels. So we can see that, okay, right now we are not seeing any scroll bar right now. So let's make it a box shadow to the gray, border radius to 10 pixel, and here we will define its background and its color will be this. Okay, now border radius will be 10 pixel. That's good. So let's see how it is looking in browser. So we can go here and we can see. So let's define a CSS for hover effect. So we can write another pseudo selector here, and in hover we will change the background color slightly. So now we can see that at hover we are changing the background color. So it is a scroll bar. So it is looking much better. So now we will work on this section, and we will define here input box, a text box, and a button. So input type equals to text. Okay, class equals to input. That's good. And here we will define button. Let's name it send, and class btn. Okay, so let's define some CSS here, but first see how it is looking. It is looking good. Okay, now we will define a display flex here so that we can centralize these things. So right now justify content center, and it will align them in center. Okay, one more thing, align items center. Okay, so now everything comes in center. So we can define CSS for our input and our btn also. Now we will define some CSS for input first. So go here and define its width. So it will make 90%. Okay, now we will define some padding, font size, border radius, and at last margin. So let's see how it is looking. Okay, it is looking great. Now we will define some CSS for button, font size 20, padding 10 pixels from top and bottom, 15 pixels from left and right. Okay, now border will be none, and here border radius 10 pixel, cursor pointer, background will be this. Okay, color will be white, and margin will be 0 pixel from top and bottom, 5 pixels from left and right. So let's see. So it is looking great, but we need to fix few things here. First, we need a hover effect on this button, and if we are focusing on this input, you can see this thing here. So we can fix this thing on input focus. Okay, so we can copy this color and paste it here, and let's make it a little bit more darker. So okay, now we can check here, nothing is changed because we have to change one more property here. It is outline none, and let's see. Now we can see that it has a very subtle effect of changing the outline. Okay, so we can change it to 2 pixel so that we can see. Yeah, so here we can see that the border is displaying here. Okay, now we need a hover effect for this button. So let's let's type here btn hover pseudo class. Okay, and let's copy this background. Okay, and let's make it a little bit darker. So let's see how it is looking. Okay, so we can see this little hover effect here. Okay, so now we have neatly designed our UI. So let's see how it is looking in mobile mode. So it is looking like this. It is not a responsive website, but it looks fine. Okay. Good. So that's our designing process. If we make any changes in future, we can easily do that, but it looks fine to me. And it may not be the final CSS for our application. Let's see in the future. Okay, so let's close it for now. And here, if we go to the documentation of Signalar, so we can see how we can use, how we can connect our Signalar hub with our client application. And we are using the JavaScript client. You can also connect it with various clients like .NET client or Java client. Okay, so we have two options here. Either we can use npm and we can directly install the signal r what it is, signalr.js javascript file, or we can use the cdn. So let's use cdn right now. You can also follow these lines, and you can also install it from the npm. So let's go here, and not here, sorry, we have to go here, and here at the bottom we can paste this cdn. Okay, so it is a way of cdn. You can use it like this, or let me show you, we can use both ways. So let's install it with npm. So for that we have to open our terminal, and after opening terminal we have to write here npm init -y. It will initialize our node application. So if you have any knowledge of node, you will understand it what happened here. So it has created this package.json file, and here we have configured our node application. Now we can install any packages from the node, so we will use here npm install this. Okay, so we can write here npm install Microsoft Signalar. Now we have installed our packages. Sorry, it is installing, we haven't installed them. I will show you where it is installed. So we can see here inside the node modules, inside the Microsoft folder, dist, browser, here we have the signalr.js file. So we can link it here. So just type here script src, sorry, oops, script src, and here we can do it like this: node modules, Microsoft, inside signal r, dist, browser, and here we have the signal.js. Okay, we are good so far. Now we'll create our own script here. So click on here and create chat.js. Very good. Now we have to link this script here. So script, we will write here script script src, and here we will write chat.js. Now we have connected our chat.js file. So let's go here in the documentation process, and let's see how we can connect this. So here we have this line, so we can copy this line so that we can make connection with our signal r. So here we have make our connection, and here we have to change we have to change the URL. So let's run our server application first. So let's wait, and when our server application will run, we have to copy that URL. Also you can find that URL here. Oops, it has stuck. So we can find that URL here also in launch setting.json file. So in launch setting.json file we can find this URL. So we can use this one, https 7275. Okay, so it is defined here inside this folder launch setting.json. But now we have this problem here. We are facing an issue here. Service collection cannot be modified because it's read only. And let me see. Oops, I have done a terrible mistake. I have added this line accidentally here. We have to add it here, and I guess we will be fine. Pardon me for that mistake. So now you can see that we have successfully executed our application. We can copy this URL 7265 port, or like I have told you, you can also find this URL here 7265. Both way are fine. So we can paste it here. Now it is our Signal chat hub configured properly. So here what we can do, we have to create a connection. So I'm gonna write here async, sorry, not async, const is start, let's say here async, and it will be async method. We'll write here try catch block, and inside here we will write connection dot start. It will start our connection. We'll just write here await, and now what we'll do here, we'll just check that server has started or not. And here I'm going to tell you one thing, that because it is a promise, this method is returning a promise, then we have to use either a async method for that, or we can use it like this, connection dot start dot then something like this. Okay, but we are going to use async method here. It is much shorter. So I'm going to log here the error, console.log error. That's good, and we are fine. So let's test that our application is working fine or not. So for that we are going to create one more method, start app async function, and here we will run few methods, but right now I'm running one method here. So I'm going to use this start method, and right here I'm going to write start app. So here we will run few more methods in the future, not right now. Okay, so let's test that thing, and let me run the JSON server. So here I'm gonna press this control F12, or we can go from here, inspect element. So here we can see that we are not logging anything right now. So let me see what is happening here. Okay, we haven't logged any message here, so just log here console.log, and here we can write connected to Signal hub. So let's go here and let's refresh it, and we can see here we are successfully connected to Signal hub. It means we have successfully created a connection. Okay, so let's see what we have to do right now. We have to do a few things here. So let's do one thing here, and first of all we will get username and store it somewhere. So how we will get username? So let me see. So let's create a method here, const join user, and here we will do a thing, but first let's make this thing async. Okay, now let's see, we have one thing here, window dot prompt, and here we can write enter the name. Okay, and we can store it in a variable, so let's name it const name. Okay, now what we can do here, is just call this method here. Now we have retrieved the name of user here, so where should I store it? So we will use a session storage, because session storage will be destroyed when we close the current tab, so its state exists only to the current tab of browser, so we will use it here. So we will write here, first of all we will check if it is null or not. So if name means if name is not empty or null, then we will write here session storage dot set item, and here we will write the name. Okay, but here we need to add a key here, so we will add a key with this user. Now we have stored our user in this session storage, we can get anywhere where we want. So let's create a method const get user, and here we can write session storage dot get item with user. So with this method we are getting the user, so fetching the user from session storage. Okay, and here let's write here getting the username from prompt model, and store it in session storage. And session storage exists till browser tab is open. Once we close the tab, the session storage will be destroyed. Okay, and it is our need. Okay, so I guess we are fine right now. So let's call this method here and this method here. So let's run our application here and close it. Let's refresh this guy, and we can see here we have this option, and let's see what we are getting here. So let's call it here console.log get user, and let's see what we are getting from this method. So let's refresh this guy and enter name John and press Ctrl 12 F12, sorry, and here we are getting the name John, so it means it is working fine. So here it is working absolutely fine, so we can close it. Now we have retrieved the name of user. Okay, so we are good so far. So let's go here and let's see what we can do more. So now what we need to do, we need to work on this thing, sorry, not this thing. Now here what we are going to do, when where we are, when user stored its name in session, and here user will join the chat. Okay, so here we will write a method async join chat. Oops, sorry, const join chat, and here join chat equals to this, and here we will pass this thing name, and after that what we are going to do, we are going to call this method, sorry, not this method join chat. Okay, so how we can call this method? So we have SignalR APIs for that, so we can call here await. First let's put a try catch block here. Okay, and here we will log error. Very nice. Now here we'll do our thing. So here we write await connection dot invoke. We have the invoke method. With the help of invoke method we can invoke this method, so I can copy it here and call it here join chat, and here we can pass few things like user and name. So we have to pass user and message, sorry, not name, not message. So here we will write message. Since it is await, so we have to write async here, and here we can create a parameter which is user. Okay, so how we will pass this user? One thing, we can directly get it from session storage, or we can directly pass it from here. So we can call this method here join chat. We will call this method here, not here. Okay, so here we will pass the user and it is stored in name. That's good. And it is a async method, so we have to write here join chat await, because this method will return promise. Okay, so we can see that this method is returning promise of void type. That's why we are using await here. So all of these methods are returning a promise. It is returning a promise. This invoke method is returning a promise, so we have to use await method. Okay, so we can also follow different approach, like we can use the catch and then thing. Okay, what I was trying to say, that we can also call it like this, like connection dot invoke, and here we can do this, then, and here we can pass this, and here we can do this catch error console dot log error. Okay, and here we can write console dot log join the chat. Okay, so if we don't want to use it like this, okay, if we don't want to use it like this, we can use it like this also. Okay, or we can directly use it here rather than calling a method, so we can do it like this also, but it may be confusing right now, so I'm gonna leave this thing. I'm gonna remove comments from here, and I'm gonna remove comments from here. So it is a neat and clean way of doing things. So let me show you what I did. First, I have created this join chat method, which is expecting this argument user, which will be a string type, and here we have called this method here, but we also have to pass a message here. So let's see what we can pass here. So let's create a message here because we haven't created any message. So let's type here const message equals to this. Now here we can see that we are getting this user from our parameter, and it is our local variable. So let's create this thing here, and let's do it like this. We will type here user, and here we can write joined. Okay, so I can also write here if user, for extra security, if user is null, then we will return from here. It is just for the security purpose. Here we are make sure that this user is not null, user joined. Okay, and here we have called this method. So when we invoke this join user method, so where we have invoked it here, join user. So first our application starts, then this start method has been called. Okay, when we have called this start method, our connection has been established here. So connection will established. Okay, after that we will call this join user method, and this join user method, what we are doing here, we are getting the user name from prompt and store it in a session storage, so like this, and here user will join the chat. So how user will join the chat? It will invoke this join chat method and pass user and message as a parameter. So when user join a chat, it will invoke this method, and here signal R will do its thing. It will broadcast to all the person except for the person that has invoked this method. Okay, so if I have invoked this method, I will not get any notification, and all of my friends will get a notification from this method. Okay, so here let's see, let's write here. So let's type here alert and message. Let's see it is working or not. Let me close this guy. Okay, and here, so let's refresh this guy and name John. Okay, John joined, so that is working fine. So now how user will get notified? Now user have joined the chat, how other user will get notified? For that we have to write a method. So we have to write a method for notification. So we'll write a method for getting notified by server. Okay, so how we will get notified by server? We have to use this message, receive message. Okay, so copy this name. Fine. Let's type here const join, receive, const receive message, and here let's make it async also. Here we will use this try catch block again, and here we are going to log the error, console.log.error, and here we will write this thing await connection dot. Now we don't have to use this invoke, we have to use this method on. Okay, and here we will write the name of method which we have defined here. Okay, so here. Okay, what else it is asking for us? It is asking for us nothing, but here we will pass anonymous method, and in the anonymous method we will get a user and message from server. Okay, so we can check it here what we are getting. So we can write here user and message. So let's see, let's call it here. Okay, receive message, and we can write here await. So let's copy this thing here, and John joined. We have to remove this thing. Where is John joined? Let me find John joined. Okay, I'm not able to find where I have written this thing, so I guess somewhere here. Okay, here. So I have removed this thing. So let's run this John. Okay, right now we are not getting notified. Like I have told you, when user will call this method, he will not get notified, everyone else will get notified except from him. Right now I have joined the chat, but I will not get notified. But let's see, let's call it here, and if I write here, let's name it Mike, and here Mike have joined, but we are not getting notified here either, so there might be a problem. We will figure it out, so that's okay. Receive message. Okay, here receive message, that's fine. So let's do one thing here, let's not put an alert here, alert will be annoying. So we are going to put here console.log, and here we can get a message. Okay, so it will be fine, and let's see what we can do here. So receive message has been created here, and we are calling it here. Okay, now let's cancel this guy, and let's create an anonymous tab here and paste this URL here. Let's close it for now, and let's shrink this thing, and here let's open control F12. Okay, so let's refresh this thing, and let's write here John. Okay, so message is not defined. Okay, that's fine. So here we have this message, but it is saying it is not defined, I guess. So let's figure out it. So it is saying that message is not defined, chat 3151. So let's see what is going on here, and what it is saying, message is not defined here. Okay, that's fair enough. So let's go here in this section, and it is saying message is not defined here. That is absolutely right. Okay, now we are fine. Oh, where is my message has gone? I don't know. I have created here something like this. Okay, let me do it again. So const message, sorry, not here, here. So const message equals to like this, and here I will write name and sorry, user, and here we have this thing joined. Okay, so here we have created this variable. Okay, we can close this guy, not close, remove. Okay, that is fine. Now we have joined the chat. I guess we don't have any problem right now, so let's do this, and yeah, we are fine. So let's open another tab. It is a incognito tab. So right here, let's write here, let's name it John. It is a John, so John is not getting notified. Okay, let's name it Mike, and here we can see Mike has joined. So John has notified, but Mike hasn't notified. So that's why we have used it like this, others. So when Mike has joined, except Mike, everyone will be get notified. So when Mike has joined, John has notified. Okay, so our join method is working fine. So let's expand this thing. Okay, so we have created our received message. Now we have to work on this thing, send button. Okay, for that, let's go here and let's give it id equals to txt message. Fine, and let's name it id equals to btn send. So let's create a event binder for btn send. Okay, so where we can do it, we can do it anywhere. So let's do it here. Let's name it starting the app. Okay, here binding the event for send button. So here we are gonna bind the event for send button document. So first we will get that element by id. So it is the id. We can see it here. I have defined it here. Okay, so now on we can write here add event listener, name of event which is click. Okay, here we can create a callback function e dot prevent default, so that we can prevent the default behavior of an event. Now here, first of all, let's write here one thing. So let's add here use strict. Okay, and let's move back here. So now we will test this thing. So we'll write here alert hello. So let's see. Okay, so this click button is working fine. We are going step by step so that we can avoid future error early possible. Okay, now what we have to do here, we have to get message from this text box. So let's copy this id, and here txt message element. We are finding this element here. How we can find this element? Like before, document dot get element by id, and here we can pass this thing, it's const. Okay, now we can do here const txt message, or we can write here message, let's name it a message. It will be fine enough for message. Okay, now txt message element dot value okay, now we have this thing, so we can check if message is not empty, then we'll do something here, and what we will do at the end, we will empty this thing. So txt message element dot value equals to empty string. Okay, and here we will call the send message API. So how we can call it? So we have simple thing, but before that, let's create it an async method so that we can call that what it is, that promise. Okay, but now we'll create a different method, so let's name it const send message, or we can directly do it here also. Okay, so where should we do it, here or create a new method? Let's create a new method. So const send message, okay, equals to async, and here we will get message. Okay, try catch block console dot log dot error, and here we can write await connection dot invoke dot what it was, I'm forgetting, it was send message. Okay, so send message, and here we will pass user and message. Okay, so it will take another parameter here which will be user. Okay, so let's find the user. So first let's find the user. So where we'll find the user, let's find user here, const user equals to get user. We have created this method earlier, so we can find user from here. So now we do not need a user here. Okay, that's good. We can pass this user here, and we can check if user is null, then we will simply return from here, return. Otherwise we will move forward and we'll do this. So now we do not need this parameter. Okay, so let's call it here. So we will call this send message here, await send message. That's good. We'll pass a message, so message will be like this. And now we will modify message here a bit. So let's do it like this. Okay, sorry, we have to pass this user here, and we are gonna move this thing here because we need a user also here. So where we can put this line, we can put this line somewhere here. So if first we will find user, if user is null, then we will return from here, and otherwise we will write a message here like this, user, and this. Okay, so it will be like John says hey guys. It will create a message like this. Okay, so here we will have username, then we have a semicolon, then we have the message of user. Okay, so it looks fine. First we have find the user. If user is null, then we have return from here. Then we have find this text element by id. We have find its value. We are checking that if it has a value or not. If it has a value, we'll move inside the method, and we will call the send message API, and we will empty the text box at the end. Okay, so when we have called this send message, we will go here, and here it will take two parameters or two arguments, user and message. It will invoke this message, pass these two arguments, and here we will log these things. So I think we are good now. So let's not this, let's open one more tab here, and here we will write localhost 5500. okay, and here we will do same thing. We write here John, okay, and here we will say that it's a Mike. Okay, so it is notified Mike joined. So let's go here and let's do thing hey Mike, and here we are getting the null. It means something is happening, something not happening good here. So let's put a breakpoint here. Let's see, are we going here? So let's go here and let's say DDD, and it is working fine. So everyone is notified. It means method is getting hit, but problem is somewhere else in the client application. So let's see. Okay, we can test one more thing here. So let's go here and let's say hello Mike. Let's see what we are getting here, user, and in the user we are getting this, and message is null. Okay, so we are doing something bad here. Send message. Okay, sorry, we have to pass here user also. Okay, so now I guess we are good. So let's refresh this application. So here we are getting error, failed to fetch. Okay, okay, so we are fine here. So let's go here first. So first it is John, it is Bob. Here Bob has joined. I'm gonna say here hey Bob, and both are notified here, hey Bob, hey Bob. And if I write here hey Mike, so Mike also has notified. That's good. Now what we have to do here, when I send a message, those messages will be append here. When I received a message, those messages will be displayed here. So how we can do that? So let's create a method for that. That's fair enough. So where is our join chat method? Okay, not join chat. Where is our receive method? Okay, so here we will append messages to the message section. Okay, so let's create a method for that. Const append messages, append message, and this so it will take, I guess, message, so it will be a message. That's fine. So we need few things. First we have to define some IDs here. So first we will define here id equals to message section. Okay, so message section, so we will get this message section here. Const message section element equals to document dot get element by id, and here we will define that id message section. Okay, now we have this section. Now we have to append these things here. So first we have to append a div. So let's delete these divs. Okay, we have to create a div with these classes. Okay, so let's do it here. Sorry, let's not remove it here. First let's move here, not here. So first we will create a message box element equals to document dot create element. It will be a div. Very good. Now we have created div. We can put some classes. Message box element dot class list dot add, and here we can add this message section, sorry, this message box class. Okay, that's good, but this received or send will be added on some condition. So let's remove this thing, and copy this thing also. Sorry, not copy, comment this thing also. So let's comment it. I don't know. Okay, now we have created our message element. Now we will do here message section element dot append child. We will append this message box element here. Before that we need to put some values to it. A message box element dot inner HTML equals to this thing, message. Okay, so let's see what is going on here. So let's refresh this guy and let's name it John. Okay, so let's type here hello, hey. So nothing is working fine till now. So let's inspect our element and let's see. John says hey. Okay, I know why it is not working, because I haven't called this method, so we have to call it here. So we will call this thing here and we will pass a message here, message. Okay, now let's refresh it, and my name is John, not mine. User of this chat application is John right now. Okay, so John says hey. Okay, but let's open this tab also. So refresh this guy. Okay, so it is Bob. Okay, so here we can see Bob joined. John saying hello. John says hey and is saying hey. Bob says hi John, and here we have this thing, hi John. But my messages should be displayed here and Bob's messages should be displayed in the left side. My message should be displayed in the right side. So how we can do that? How we can append that received and send IDs? Okay, so we have to append these IDs, classes received or sent. So we can check here. We can do something like this here. So we can go here. First we can find const current user equals to get user. If current user is null, then we will return from here. Okay, that's good. Now, or we can do this thing. Let me see. Let me see it is working fine or not. A, C, D, D. Okay, so everything is working fine. So now we can check a condition. How I can find that I am the sender or not. So we can check it here. So we can say that const message class equals to current user equals to user. It means it's me. It means now class will be send because it's me. Otherwise client class will be received. Let me see, it is received. Yeah, received. Class will be received, and we will pass this message class here, and we have to write it here, message class, and here we will add one more class, message class. Okay, so let's open both tab. We can go here, we can refresh it, and let's name it Bob. Bob joined, but I haven't joined yet. Okay, so first refresh it and refresh it. Sorry, refresh it. John, it's John. Okay, John joined. Bob joined, and it's problematic here. Oops, sorry. First, what I will do here, first I will join, and here that is problematic. We have to create a proper solution, but it will take a time. Proper solution can be that you can create a proper pop-up here rather than using this hack. Then this problem will not be faced. Okay, so here Bob, that's good. Bob joined. It is Bob. So who it is? It is also Bob. It is a problematic thing. So let me see what we can do here. First, let's call it is John. Okay, it is John. Now let's open another thing here, and let's open this thing and let's name it Bob. Okay, now we are fine. So John will say hey Bob. John says hey Bob, and it has said hey John. Okay, so my messages, hey John is here, and receiver's messages are here. So here hey Bob, hey John, and here hey Bob. Let's open one more tab. Let's open one more tab here, and let's this thing, and let's name it Chris joined, and you can see it here, Chris joined, and we can call it hey guys. Okay, Chris says hey guys, and we can see that hey guys, hey guys, hey guys. Let's close this thing, and let's close this thing. So everything is working fine. We have to do one more thing here. Right now I am inside my directory, and I'm gonna paste this thing here, chat sound. Okay, I'm gonna close this thing, because I need a sound on receive. So here we can see we have this chat sound.mp3. Let's go here, something where, let me see, in receive messages. Okay, so here we will create a alert sound. So const alert sound equals to new audio, and here we have chat sound dot mp3 and alert sound dot play. So let's see, John. Okay, let's open here. Now you can listen this sound. Hi. Okay, so it is working fine. So we can close this thing, and but this application is not finished yet. One more thing has remained. What if user leaves a chat or he closes the browser window? Then it should disconnect from the server, and all the clients should notify that hey, Bob has left the chat, or John has left the chat, or XYZ has left the chat. So how we will implement that functionality? So let's go here. We can easily find the user who has left the chat if we have implemented some kind of authentication mechanism. So if we have implemented some kind of authentication mechanism, then we can easily find the value of user from our auth cookie. But right now we haven't authenticated any mechanism, so we will do a little hack here. This thing might not be a best solution. Pardon me if it is not a best solution. So what I did when sorry, I did not. What I am going to do, one thing, that when user joins a chat here, we will save this user info in a dictionary that is static. Okay, so let's create a dictionary here, and here's the dictionary of type string and string. And why we have created it is static, so that it will create a single copy, so a single instance of this connected clients will exist in this application. Then whenever user joins a chat, his information will stored in this dictionary along with connection ID. Okay, so connection ID here will be the key, and user will be a value. So now let's define here. So here we can see that connection ID is our key and name of user is our value. So now let's define a functionality for leaving chat. So here we have defined this leave chat function, and here we are trying to get value of user with the help of connection ID. So we can get connection ID from our context, and we will get the value of the user from a dictionary with the help of this connection ID. So let's see. So if everything goes perfect, we will have a value of user in this out variable. Okay, now here we can create this string message, and we will notify all the clients, not all the clients, all the clients who is not that user which has left the chat. Okay, so except from a user that left the chat will get notified that, hey, this one has left the chat. Suppose Bob has left the chat, then except from Bob, everyone will be get notified that, hey, Bob has left the chat. Now how we do know that someone has disconnected from a chat hub? So we have a function that we are going to implement here. Okay, so we have to override a function here, that is this on disconnected async, and we will call this leave chat method here, and we will write this base dot on disconnected async. Now whenever a user, let's suppose Bob has disconnected, when Bob has disconnected, this method will be called. Okay, then it will call this method, and it will extract the information of Bob from here and notify all the clients that Bob has left the chat. So it's that much simple. So let's run this application and let's test this thing. So right now we are here, and let's name it Mike. Okay, so right now Mike has joined the chat. So let's go here and let's name it Bob. Okay, so here we can see that Bob has joined the chat. Now we can create another instance and we can say that John. Now John has joined the chat, so it is notified John joined. It is notified that John joined. So let's close this tab. So here we can see that Mike left. Okay, and here if we close this, we will get notified that John left the chat, Mike left the chat. Okay, so that's it. And right now we have successfully created a chat room application with the help of ASP.NET Core, Signal R, and simple HTML and vanilla JavaScript. Okay, so that's it for now. If you find this video helpful, then please hit that like button, and if you find any doubt, then you can ask me on the comment section. I will try to solve your doubt. Okay, so I will see you next time.